What are the things that women can do to help men stay empowered in their masculine?
It's easy. Appreciation. That's all they actually want. Men are so they actually are so easy to kind of please. They might be multi-million. Look, I'm sorry if I talk a lot about successful men. I live in Dubai. Praise be to God. Everybody here is super successful. So I've got a skewed vision. And so I'm not talking about the average man who doesn't bring anything to the table. But I'm talking about men who genuinely run a few companies, will buy you a house and a car and, give you an allowance. With those men, the only thing they actually ask for in return is appreciation. And what appreciation usually looks like is be loyal to me when I'm not home, like be loyal to me. That's one form of appreciation. Another form of appreciation is show me love. And what that looks like is know when I might be hungry, know when I might be tired, and predict that and have a solution to it. Know when that I just don't need to be yelled at. Anything you want to say, just say it nicely. I'll promise you I'll do it. But yelling at me and insulting me is not going to work. So it's just these little things that show appreciation to them. They don't need you to buy them a Rolex. They don't need you to literally go and buy them, pay their rent. They don't, if they're successful, I'm saying. If they're a bum, they might need that. But if they're successful, they don't need that. All they need is you're loyal to me behind my back. You are affectionate to me. Like you always show me kisses and hugs outside of sexual intimacy. They really value affection. Some will say, no, I don't like it. But deep down, they like to know that you want to be affectionate to them. So lots of affection, lots of verbal, like telling them that they're handsome and they're this and that, reminding them that they're something, and just being proud of them. Now, these are things that would cost you nothing as a woman. It would cost you nothing, but it would do a lot for a man because they don't hear it. They can't tell you the last time somebody complimented them. They can't tell you the last time somebody made them a coffee without them having to. They can't tell you the last time that happened. Whereas with girls, we compliment each other every day. We'll grab each other food as we're getting it. We think about each other because that's what female friendships are usually looking like. Men don't get that with each other. So if they can find a woman that shows them a lot of appreciation, they really do. They really do value that.
Okay.
That's my opinion. What do you think, Nia?
Yeah, I mean, guys are really easy. In my opinion, I just think, appreciation is the number one thing, especially if a guy is providing everything in the sense of financially or whatever she might need, taking care of everything in that sense. Yeah, I mean, just super easy. Just keep the peace in the home. Any issue that you have, communicate, and don't constantly berate or
limit the criticisms. Limit the criticisms.
Well, even, if you have complaints, of course, bring them up by all means. I'm not one of those guys that says, hey, shut your mouth and just do what I say because I pay the bills. I think that's horrible. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I do believe that if anything needs to be brought up in the household, it can be done so with proper communication, but with love. Yeah. Even if you are annoyed.
Exactly.
So, and I think, acts of kindness and stuff like that, like bringing food and this and that, I think, it
helps.
Yeah, it helps. Another one of her questions is, how can you encourage a man to be vulnerable? This goes back to, I guess, my earlier experience.
The key thing to encouraging him to be vulnerable is asking curious questions, always asking, specific questions, not just how are you? So it's like, how's that situation with your boss? Did you manage to speak to him about it? You ask those types of questions. The second thing is, if you really want vulnerability out of this, and this is something I need to practice myself, I'm saying this, but you then later in an argument bring up what they told you in a negative way. The thing is, what happens with men, if they've told you something in a vulnerable state and then you later bring it up or you later insult them for it, they will never do it again. They will never do it again. They need to know that their secret's safe with you. And what they mean by that is not that you won't tell anybody, that's almost a given. It's that you won't tell him that secret back to him in a negative way. So if you really want to create vulnerabilities, firstly, you are also vulnerable, you're open with them, you ask them curious questions, but you don't use their vulnerabilities against them.
Like throwing it in his face.
Yeah,
right.
At any point.